من المبادرات اللي عم بتقوم فيها تور بيروت هي الفري ووكينج بيروت ووكينج تور اللي عم بتكون كمان لمدة ساعتين مشي بالداون تاون بيروت. كريم دملج احدى الفاوندرز والمشاركين بهيدا التور بيروت معنا بالاستوديو تيحكينا اكثر عن هذا الموضوع. اهلا وسهلا فيك كريم.
جو كيفك؟
جود مورنينج. انا منيح. كيف؟
تمام ماشي الحال. اول شيء بدي اخبر شوي عن حالي. اول شيء بدي اياكم انه تستأذنوا مني شوي على العربي شوي ثقيله، كنت عايش برا. كنت انا مولود بكندا وعشت فترة بمصر، وهلا صار لي 7 سنين بلبنان. وبلشت انا شركتي السياحية، فينا نقول ما كنا مرخصين قبل، بس انه بلشناها مثل كهوبي او يعني شيء يعني تسلية، وتقدمت وصارت فينا نقول اكثر انه الشغل يعني عن جد
صارت سياحة.
صارت سياحة مزبوطة. ونحن هلا يعني انه عم نجرب انه نرخص شركتنا بطريقه انه كامله. هلا في المرحله الثانيه، بس انه بتعرفوا الاضرابات بالبلد وهيك. اوكي. خليني بس اخبر عن حالي شوي بعد. فينا نقول انه أهمية الفري ووكينج تور، لأنه كل عاصمة بحيالله بلد عندهم شيء اسمه الفري ووكينج تور. يعني بوقت الكورونا كان في شركة تانية عم بتقدمها بلبنان، نسيت اسمها، بظن فري ووكينج تور اند بيون، ولكن وقفوها لهالشغله وقت الكورونا وما ما رجعوا بلشوها. انا لقيت انه هذا الشيء اكيد لازم نحن نقدمه وناخذ محلهم بهال شو اسمه بروجي.
كريم اذا بدك تحكي بالانجلش no problem, we can translate on air if you feel better to express yourself. اذا بتحس حالك بتعبر بطريقه احسن. So كريم, tour Beirut started as an idea, but the free walking tour was added to it recently after COVID.
Yes, that's correct.
How important it is to have the free walking tour? You said that in all of the countries they have this type of tours, but in Lebanon it stopped. عم بسأله لكريم عن التور المجانية اللي بيقوموا فيها تور بيروت بلبنان، وقد ايه أهميتها كونها موجودة بكل دول العالم غيره.
Okay.
Go ahead.
First of all, it's extremely important to have a free walking tour. This is the smallest type of introduction that you can have in any city. As a foreigner, you're coming to a city and you want to learn more about it, from its history, from, for example, politics, landmarks, everything that makes a city. You need perspective. Especially need perspective from someone who understands their culture as well and can do the contrast between what's actually in Lebanon versus what they expect in their own country. So bridging this gap makes for a very rewarding experience, and people tend to enjoy it a lot, and especially the budget travelers. Some people come on a very, very tight budget, and that's the best way for them to explore the city.
Exactly. كان عم بيقول كريم انه اهميه هذا المشروع انه هذا بيكون مقدمه للبلد للاجانب اللي جايين من برا وبدهم يتعرفوا اكثر، ان كان معالم سياحيه ودينيه وغيرها، وهذا الشيء كثير مهم للبلد، وخاصه للاشخاص اللي بيجوا على ميزانيه معينه وما عندهم مصاري تيقدروا يصرفوا على غير اكتيفيتيز، وبيكون عندهم انطباع معين على البلد، ولكن بس يجوا وبيشوفوا المنطقه وبيشوفوا شو عم بيصير بتغير هذا الانطباع وبيقدروا هن يكونوا فكره عنها. Tour of Beirut, the free walking is for 2 hours long.
Yes, approximately.
Yes, approximately 2 hours, and you have to book a seat because it has 15 slots.
Yes, correct.
So التور بيروت هي لمدة ساعتين وفيها كل مرة 15 شخص. It happens every Tuesday and Saturday.
Tuesday and Saturday. هلا نحن حاليا يعني we're relying a lot on referrals and other sites to help boost our visibility. بصراحة يعني let's say to fill 15 slots, it's actually an expensive ordeal. You need $15 of advertisement to fill around 10 to 15 slots. So it costs money, even though it's a free tour. We're proactively spending money to promote it. That's the first step when you're starting to let's say have a new service. Before the word of mouth goes on, you need to advertise it, and that's
give it exposure.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you so much. This is another way for exposure to come on your show, Joe. And thank you a lot for having me on your show and to tell you a bit more about the free walking
Don't worry
tour.
about it. كان عم بيقول لي كريم انه اهميه هيك مواضيع انه مع انه هي مجانيه ولكن بتكلف مصاري كرمال تنشر وكرمال العالم تعرف عنها، وهلا الطريقه الوحيده اللي هن عم بيستعملوها هي انه الاشخاص تخبر بعضها عن هيدا النشاط كرمال تقدر توصل الفكره. وكمان شكرنا لانه عم بيقوم بهيدي المقابله لانه هيدا نوع كمان من الاكسبوجر وكرمال يوصل للعالم بطريقه ثانيه. كريم, one of the things that caught my eye was that this is for foreigners and Lebanese diaspora, which is basically people who are coming to Lebanon for visits and not the Lebanese people. Why is that?
Okay, so firstly, it's right now we're in a sensitive moment in Lebanon's history. We've had lots of we've had lots of crises in a row, one of which is the financial part of things. One is the political aspect of things. And these are subjects that are discussed in the free walking tour. And although I try to take an unbiased approach to things, you'll have people who will be maybe offended by some things that I say, which I mean no offense. It's just a way to explain things to people, why things are the way they are. So I really don't want to offend anyone on the tour, and also if it's made available to the general public, you'll have more than the 15 slots that are going to be requested, and I feel
a bigger budget.
Yeah, and I feel the people who need the most this tour will be left out. So what I've been trying to do is to work on something for the locals. Of course, I've gotten a lot of backlash. Locals also want to experience Lebanon. So what I'm working on is to create a tour, a date that you can book once a week for the locals, and it will be something with less politics, more history, and more knowing about your own country. So in a way we can do something that is inclusive, and there's no way to offend anyone. So yeah, that's what we're aiming for.
سألته لكريم انه ليه هيدي التور محدده للاجانب وللمغتربين اللبنانيين اللي بيجوا بزياره على لبنان، وجاوبني انه المنطقه والمعالم السياحيه اللي هن بيدوروا فيها كمان تحمل طابع ديني وطابع سياسي كبير، وما بده يكون عم يتهجم لحدا بلبنان، ولكن عم بيشتغل على بروجي جديد كمان رح يكون بيشمل اللبنانيين وبيركز اكثر على الطابع التاريخي والاثري تبع المنطقه. وكمان عم بيقول انه اذا بده يجمع اللبنانيه بهذا النوع من التورز رح يكون عدد كتير اكبر من 15 محل، ورح يكون بده بادجت اكبر كمان، ويمكن ما تقدر تكون فور فري تور. كريم, the spots you visit, they have a lot of history, whether as history for Beirut or architectural history. Why did you choose the spots that you do?
Okay, this is a typical downtown Beirut tour. So the reason why we picked the downtown area is because that's where everything that's historical is concentrated.
Yes.
Of course, there are other minor touristic sites, for example, the National Museum. This is something I feel that people can go on their own and explore. Also, Pigeon Rocks, Raushe. I feel like people can do that on their own, and they will not benefit as much as having someone explain everything to them and give them a perspective that they otherwise would have lost on. So I'm trying to make this as much as a rewarding experience as possible within a given time frame as well, 2 hours 15 minutes. And in our next question, or in the next topic that we're going to discuss, I think we're going to discuss the actual sites that we will visit.
Definitely. كنت عم بسأله لكريم ليه تم اختيار هول المواقع اللي هن عم بيزوروها اللي رح نحكي عنهم بعد شوي، وعم بيقول لي انه ببيروت بالتحديد في كتير مواقع لازم يتخبر عنها ولازم يوصل الفكره تبعها بطريقه معينه. يعني عندنا مثلا مثل متحف بيروت في الشخص يروح يزوره لحاله ومنه بحاجه ليكون في عنده جايد تيقدر يرشده ويخبره عنه اكثر. ورح نحكي هلا عن المناطق والمواقع, locations and the sites that are included in the tour. Tell us more about them.
So the meeting spot is at Martyr Square, ساحة الشهداء, which قدام التمثال تماما. And also what we end up first seeing is Martyr Square. We then follow this area with where the revolution happened, where the revolution fist is.
Yes.
We also explain that the revolution is also called the WhatsApp revolution. They've never heard of anything related to WhatsApp before. So we discuss a bit about the revolution, what sparked it, and what changed in the country. So this is a bit into the politics, so we don't really want to get into that. So then there's the third aspect is Jami' al-Amin, and also the burial site of Rafiq Hariri.
Yes.
And also next to it directly there are Roman ruins, which we explained that more to people. Okay. Yes. This is where the main marketplace was during the Roman times. This is where the main north-south road intersected with the main east-west road. So this was really the heart of the Roman city of Beirut. Beirut is the Roman name of Beirut. Following this, we go through a narrow corridor that divides the main mosque in the downtown area with the main church in the area. And I find this very interesting, and people also find this very interesting, that two of the main religious sites in Lebanon are just
Cathedral.
Yeah, exactly, the St. George Cathedral and the Al Amin Mosque. The only thing dividing them is, like, let's say 6 meters, a small corridor dividing them. And of course, normally part of the walking tour you don't backtrack, but unfortunately because Saht al-Najmid, the Stars Square, is closed off right now to the public. We hope, really hope that in the future they open it again. But unfortunately at the moment we have to backtrack and we have to walk everything back.
Make a detour.
Yeah, make a detour and walk everything back. Then we head to the I Love Beirut sign. After that, we go through the Beirut souks. And on Saturdays, they have like Souk al-Tayyib, which is like a farmer's market, and also places where people showcase local products.
Yes, their products, exactly.
Yeah, and after that, there's the Zaytuna Bay, and also where the old Holiday Inn used to be next to Phoenicia Hotel.
Definitely. ذكر كريم المناطق المواقع اللي بيزوروها هن ساحة الشهداء، جامع الأمين، وكمان كنيسة مرجرجس حد ودغري، وبيركز على الكوريدور الموجود بيناتهم لأنه ما بيشوفوه الأجانب بولا بلد إنه جامع وكنيسة موجودين هالقد حد بعض. كمان بيقطعوا على بيروت سوكس والفارمرز ماركت اللي هو سوق الطيب، وزها حديد بيلدينج كمان.
Yeah, of course.
A landmark.
Yeah,
now.
it is. Yeah.
Before we finish, because we are running out of time, I want to ask you about the touristic status of Lebanon. People are coming, they expect that Lebanon is in a state and they see a different state. And how do you see the reactions and how do you see people, interacting with Lebanon?
Okay. So right now we have a wave of budget backpacker travelers. I think the budget travelers, they're more open to unusual destinations and destinations that have travel advisory against visiting these countries. I think these backpackers, especially the low budget backpackers, they're the ones who really spread the news about Lebanon.
Yeah.
So they're really ambassadors for their own countries to spread the word about Lebanon. So what better way to do it through the free walking tour? Hey guys, there's something for free. Let's join it. Let's learn more about Lebanon. And people really, of course, some people have been to Lebanon before, and they saw Lebanon in a completely different state.
Yes.
And with the free walking tour, we kind of shed some light about where,
what happened.
Yeah, exactly what happened, where Lebanon was, where it is now, and where it's headed in the future. Hopefully, akid, a financial crisis, people move on. يعني we're strong. We've been through many more difficult crises than a financial crisis. And I think a few years, I think we'll be back to where we were.
Hopefully.
And Lebanon will return as the number one, one of the number one spots that is all inclusive for everyone in the world.
Yes, it starts with the Lebanese people first and foremost. سألته لكريم انه الاجانب اللي بيجوا على لبنان بيكون عندهم فكره معينه عن البلد، ولكن بس يوصلوا ويشوفوا المعالم السياحيه ويشوفوا كمان حياه البلد تتغير هيدي النظره. وشو رايه بهذا الموضوع؟ قال لي انه كل العالم اللي عم تجي هن الباك باكرز اللي بيكونوا على ميزانيه معينه وبيكونوا بدهم نشاطات مجانيه تيقدروا يشاركوا فيها، ولكن هول الاشخاص هن سفراء لبلدهم اللي كمان بيقدروا بيجوا بيشوفوا وبيروحوا بيخبروا شو شافوا وبينشروا صورة حلوة عن البلد اللي هن ما كانوا متوقعينها. و I think this is something very important because we've seen a lot of videos. For example, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about talking about Lebanon, for example, how underrated it is, one of the most beautiful countries, and people don't get to see that through media. They get to see it from personal experiences and individuals.
And I think a lot of, let's say, social media influencers like for example Drew Binsky is very well known. He puts Lebanon, he's visited all the countries in the world, and I think he puts Lebanon as one of his top 5 countries and definitely one of the most underrated destinations in the world. I think this is the most important part about Lebanon, and especially showing Lebanon to foreigners. People have very low expectations of Lebanon when coming, and they end up reserving only 2 days, 3 days, and they're planning on spending it in Beirut. I think our role is to show people that Lebanon is much more than the busy city of Beirut. We take them to Baalbek, which is not even comparable with what's in Rome. It's even grander. It's the world's largest Roman temples ever built in the world. So people are impressed. They don't know much about Lebanon. They don't know what Lebanon has to offer from the most important historical sites in the region to the most culturally diverse and religiously diverse religious sites in the world. And also nature. Lebanon has a lot to offer regarding nature.
Definitely. كريم كان عم بيقول انه الاجانب اللي بيجوا بيكونوا بس محصورين ببيروت وبيقولوا انه نحن بس بدنا نضل بالسيتي، ولكن بس يطلعوا بيصيروا يشوفوا غير مناطق بيعرفوا عن جد جمال البلد وقيمة هول المحلات اللي بيزوروها. وكمان عم نشوف كتير انفلونسرز على السوشيال ميديا اللي عم بيحطوا بيزوروا لبنان، عم بيحطوا انه لبنان عن جد مقللين من قيمته ومش مقدرينه مزبوط عالميا وعم بيوصلوا صورة بشعة عنه، بس هول الاشخاص عم بيوصلوا الصورة الحلوة وعم بيكونوا كمان سفراء. كريم, you are one of the people عن جد they are making a change, they are trying to get the better image of Lebanon across the world. I want to thank you very much for everything that you've done, and thank you for being here with us in this interview.
Can I just do one last remark?
Yes, of course.
If anyone wants to register for the free walking tour, they can do so on www.tourbeirut.com/free tour. Free tour.
Yes.
This is directly the link for the free walking tour. You can register. It's very easy. All you need is to type in your name, the date that you select for the free walking tour. Also, just your phone number and email. We don't use that in any way. We don't share it with anyone. This is just to ask for a review practically at the end of the tour. Okay, thank you so much.
الكريم لكل الاشخاص اللي عابنهم يعرفوا اكثر اكيد اجانب او مغتربين لبنانيه لانه بعدها محصوره هلا على امل لقدام تغير فيهم يزوروا موقع www.tourbeirut.com/free tour كرمال يوصلوا على اللينك وبيعرفوا كل التفاصيل من هناك. Thank you so much, Karim Damlaj, founder and co-owner of Tour Beirut, and best of luck.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for having me.
صبحيتنا بتكمل ولكن بعد هيدا الفاصل.